What's going on, lads and lasses? Welcome back to 100% Mags. So, of course, we took on Man United down at Old Trafford yesterday. 3 o'clock kickoff, and of course, the scoreline was as expected. Man United coming away from the game winners. I did feel like we could have come away from the game with something, but unfortunately, again, as always, there was some dodgy calls in the game. But let's not forget as well that we didn't have Callum Wilson in the side as well, so that did play a factor in the result, and also the fact that we're still battling off a few demons as well around the club at this moment in time, in the fact of course, Steve Bruce, who is one of the biggest demons at the club alongside Mike Ashley, who, should really be gone by now. Mike Ashley should have been gone from the club before this season even began. Steve Bruce shouldn't even be anywhere near the club and should have never been appointed to the club neither, especially after the way these past performances have went in the Premier League so far. You can just see he's not a Premier League level manager. He's completely inept when you look at the way he lines up the team. Again, he went 5 at the back against Man United. I guess it's sort of expected, that we would go defensive against Man United with them having quite a few bigger names out there on the field. And, the only thing that you can say is the fact that, it took Man United 45 minutes to open the scoring against Witt in the game. And that was, down to, of course, Mason Greenwood having a shot towards Freddie Woodman. Freddie Woodman spilling the ball, which, to be honest, wasn't the young lad's fault at the end of the day. It's happened before with many other goalkeepers as well. And we've capitalised off it a few times with other teams who have had the same thing happen against them. And, it happens in football. That's the way it is, unfortunately. But, it's spilled out of his hands. It ends up landing to the worst person you could have it land to, in, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo, and he just smashes it into an open net. If he had missed that, it would have been absolutely laughable for us Newcastle fans, and I'm sure everybody else probably would have had quite a bit of a chuckle at it as well. I'm sure Man United fans wouldn't have, but everybody else probably would have had quite a bit of a chuckle at it if he had missed that absolute sitter of a goal, but he didn't. He put it in, and of course it opened the scoring for Man United in the game. But that wasn't all in all. At the end of the day, it didn't end there. Of course, we went in at half time. We'll come back out, and on the 56th minute of the game, Miguel Almiron, Miggy, all the way through the Man United team, breaks his way in, finds Maxi, passes the ball to Maxi, and out of nowhere, the person you'd least expect to be in that position, and here he is, Javier Manquillo, who gets the ball passed to him by Maxi, and he just takes it like a pro, slots it around David De Gea into the back of the net, and of course scores what I believe was his first Newcastle United goal as well, which is absolutely crazy when you consider how long he's been at the club. And he scored to equalise against Man United, and it looks like from here we can get something out of the game, at least to come away from Old Trafford with a point. But then we had a few other chances, Joe Linton, who could have scored in the game. Then, of course, there was a ball across the box by Miggy, who tried to get at Maxi, and Maxi just barely was near it. Joe Willock as well, before any goal went in by Man United as well. Joe Willock had a chance in the game where he could have just slotted it down into the path of Joe Linton, who was free inside the box, absolute tapping, and Joe Willock went for the shot, and of course it went wide. But that was well before Man United even opened the scoring in the game. So that just shows that there was actually chances there before we even went 1-0 down to Man U. But then, of course, Man United got their chance again. through Cristiano Ronaldo. He broke through into the box and a low shot past Freddie Woodman and into the back of the net. And of course, it was 2-1, but we should have had a chance to run at Man United at that point, with, of course, Sean Longstaff being taken down by a stamp on the front from Paul Pogba, which only received a yellow card. It should have possibly been a red card, but Anthony Taylor should have also played on an advantage of Newcastle, as we did have the ball. We had the men in advantage against the Man United defence as well. So, we could have possibly broke through on goal and, opened the lead forward in the game. But he pulled it back, gave away a free kick. Nothing came of the free kick. And then, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo scored the goal to put Man United in the lead. Then, of course, Bruno Fernandes scored on the 80th minute to make it 3-1. And then, of course, Jesse Lingard come on and he scored on the 92nd minute of the game to end out the game 4-1. All in all, looking at it, it was as expected, to be honest. And with we're not having Callum Wilson fit neither, that didn't help matters. And of course, it's just another one of them games where it's a missed chance where we could have come away from the game with something, It did look, like I say, at points where we could have actually come away from the game with at least a point from it. But again, as always, Steve Bruce's tactics has destroyed the game forward. Bad decisions by the referee as well. And, of course, the obvious factor of Cristiano Ronaldo returning back to Old Trafford to play for Manchester United, obviously being all we in against it in the match in a whole. And then, of course, we get Steve Bruce coming out after the match and making some very nasty, disrespectful comments towards the likes of Lee Ryder, the Chronicle, of course, disrespecting the Newcastle United fan base. And, if you're going to go around doing stuff like that, Steve, then, you're not going to be at Newcastle United for much longer because, you're really starting to burn every single bridge that you have at the club. You burnt the bridge with the fans ages ago before you even came into the club, to be honest, with, the way your mentality was when you were at Sunderland. Then, of course, you've burnt the bridge with the journalists as well, like Craig Hope. You're burning the bridge with Lee Ryder now as well. Keep it up and you won't be at Newcastle United for much longer. And I'm sure I'm not the only Newcastle United fan out there that would be absolutely delighted to hear that news, that Steve Bruce would no longer be Newcastle United manager. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Of course, we're heading to the game against Leeds United this coming Friday. And hopefully we can do something in that one. But there is a big protester here arranged for that game, so we'll have to see what happens with that. But let us know your thoughts anyway down in the comments below. And as always, remember, like, share, subscribe to 100% Mags, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, the lads.